The failure story was in, I believe it was 2014. I think it was Halloween night. I've always wanted to be able to kill a nasty buck on Halloween. I had three mature does come from the south and come up to the stand. And they were alert and tuned in to me, it seemed like, from the get-go. And so I was sitting as still as I could, just watching them, and I was sitting down. I was trying not to make any movement. But for some reason, I just, when you've hunted long enough, sometimes you can just like, you can feel a presence. You just feel like a deer's around. You just know they are. And I felt like to the north of me, there was a deer that was coming down. It wasn't that I could hear anything. I felt like there was. And I think the way the does were acting, I think they kept looking in that direction maybe. But I didn't want to turn my head because those does were so tuned in on me. We're talking about three sets of eyes here, six eyeballs looking at you. So if two of them put their head down to browse, the other one's still watching you. But I was able to slowly finally turn my head, and not only 30 yards away, here came a really nice 10-pointer. He reminded me, I remember distinctly, he reminded me of an old raccoon. He had like gray circles around his eyes. And he was walking down the edge of the field, and I was like, oh man, I was sitting down. I normally try to shoot standing up. This was my lesson in getting stood up and getting ready before the deer are coming to you, as opposed to waiting, because you never know what's going to pop out that you're not ready for. But I was able to get my bow anyway. I think I may have had my bow in my hand already. And when he got to be about 15 yards away, I went ahead and tried to draw my bow. When I drew, they all just kind of scattered. They ran out about 30 yards away. I thought this buck was about 25, 30 yards away, and he stopped broadside. And I shot right over his back. I had misjudged the distance some. And then the next thing was he ran out about 60 yards and just stood there and looked at me. So he won that night for sure. I wasn't able to kill that buck. Pretty sure that I have a trail camera picture of him somewhere that I'll see if I can find to throw up here. But it was definitely a failure. But I'll tell you what, when you've wounded some deer over the years and haven't been able to find them, which I've done a couple times, and it's just a sick, awful feeling. Missing one completely clean, you just got to laugh about it, because I guess if you've been hunting the same deer for years and you don't make the connection at the moment of truth, that can be pretty disheartening. But I think wounding one and not being able to recover it is so much worse than making a clean miss and educating them a little bit. Thank you for watching Farming for Whitetails. We'll see you next time.